Hello everybody, this is Abhishek. Today let us discuss few things about wireless communication. I am not going to have a mathematically extensive discussion about wireless communication. That obviously you will get it from great books on wireless communication. But this is for such enthusiasts who want to have a theoretical understanding of wireless communication before they have an hands-on experience on the devices that they are handling, or before they get to the textbooks to understand the actual mathematical things about the particular subsystem. Whenever we think about wireless communication, obvious thing that comes to our mind is our mobile phones, because whatever the wireless communication systems that I have discussed here, most of it, ZigBee will not be, but Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, cellular, that is your 3G, 4G, and upcoming 5G technologies are all part of your mobile phone. For example, if you want to transfer multimedia files between two devices, obviously you'll be using Wi-Fi based applications on your mobile phone. You will be connecting your mobile phone to a Wi-Fi access point, which is again or Wi-Fi. If you are wearing a fit band or an Apple Watch, for example, the communication that happens between your mobile phone and that particular fit band or a watch is happening over Bluetooth Low Energy. Let's get started. An engineer thinks about wireless communication as if there are two antennas and some communication is happening between them over air. Even they'll be telling something as over air updates. Is it really that the communication or the electromagnetic signals that transfer between two antennas, the antenna which is in your mobile phone and the antenna which is in your watch, the antenna which is in your again your mobile phone and which is in your Wi-Fi router? So, such communication which is happening between two antennas, be it your mobile phone and router, be it mobile phone and watch, or be it mobile phone and the cellular antenna, how is such communication happening? Is it over air or is it over something else? Even the people in the industry are having this confusion that since air is existing between the two antennas, such communication is happening. So this discussion is about removing such misconception. To understand what that something else is, which is not air, which facilitates in the communication between two antennas, we need to have a small detour into understanding of universe. So universe as we know is not just an void empty space which just is having matter. So we already know matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. So anything which occupies space and also it has to have some mass. For example, anything. You being a human being occupies some space and has mass. You occupy space and has mass. The earth on which you are standing occupies space and has mass. So all the stars, all the heavenly bodies in the universe, from a small needle to the sun or moon or earth, every heavenly body, everything has mass and which occupies space. That's why we call it as matter. But is it that the whole universe is made up of matter alone? Do you think so? No. Universe is also made up of fields, or to put it in a proper perspective, universe is more of fields than matter. If you consider this watermelon slice that I have drawn here, you can see that there are small watermelon seeds that are embedded into the pulp of the watermelon fruit. You can just have a you can do a connection between what are fields and matter and this watermelon piece here. Here you can pulp as the fields and the seedlings here whichever is present as matter. So this must give you, I believe, a greater understanding or a better understanding of how our universe is. So just to have a good understanding, if for example if we consider this as universe, the fields are all pervasive. For example, our electric fields, our magnetic fields, our gravitational fields, and all other quantum fields, everywhere around the universe these fields are existing. and all the galaxies, all the stars, all the planets, all the meteorites, the matter is just here and there, like small watermelon seeds. That's why whenever we conceptualize universe, we should not think that these heavenly bodies are existing in the empty and void space, but for for truth they are existing in. So these fields can be electric fields, magnetic fields, gravitational fields, and quantum fields. Okay, let's come back to our previous discussion. So anything which occupies space and which has mass is called as matter. But what is a field? Anything which occupies space but it doesn't has mass is called as fields. That's the reason two matters cannot stay or coincide with each another. For example, if I place a pen on a table, I cannot place one more pen or a book or any other matter in the same XYZ axis that the pen is capturing. So I cannot have two pens staying at the same place. But when it comes to fields, because it doesn't have mass, it is pervasive. And if it is gravitational field here, electric field and magnetic field, all of them can coexist with each other. And on top of it, here even matter can exist. Well, we'll get into whether electromagnetic fields can penetrate into a matter or not, and what is skin effect, and all such things in coming discussions. But as of now, it is very much needed to understand that the whole of the universe is having fields: electric, magnetic, gravitational, and quantum fields, and here and there are matter. So because there exist these fields, all these communication technologies are being possible today. Yeah, if you understood, let us move further. When it comes to matter, if I want to disturb matter, the discussion which what I am making here is to understand what are waves. So now I think you could have understood why I took a small detour to understand what is fields and what is matter. So if you want to call something as a wave, electromagnetic wave, gravitational wave, then there has to exist something which you have to disturb, because waves are disturbances. So waves are disturbances. If you want to disturb something, there has to be something. That something can either be matter or it can be field. If you disturb matter, you will get matter waves. If you disturb fields, you will get field waves. So first let us understand matter waves. And we all know that matter has three states. Okay, let us not dig deep into the fourth quasi state. Let us only concentrate on solids, liquids, and gases. Coming to liquid, water is a liquid. And let us take, for example, if you throw a pebble or a stone onto the surface of water, what happens? Obviously, you would have done this in your childhood. Water waves are created, and these waves come and hit the shore. Haven't you observed it? Obviously, you would have observed it. The question here is, whenever a stone strikes onto the surface of water, is it that the individual particle which was which got impacted from the stone, is it getting displaced from its main position and going and striking into the shore? Certainly not. It is that that particular water particle just it gets displaced from its main position because of the transfer of energy from the stone to this water molecule. It just vibrates around its main position. The same way, that vibration is transferred to the second particle or the next particle around that the first particle, and in this particular fashion, the energy gets transferred from the place where the stone impacted the water surface to the place where the shore is. So it's a very evident understanding the energy movement from the place where the stone fell onto the shore, but the individual particles are not physically moving from the place where the stone stuck or the where the stone was thrown to the shore. Did I confuse you? I think I did not. I hope. So let us, if we go to air and earth, I think we will have a better clarity of what I really want to convey. So let us come to the second part of it, that are gases. So even air is made up of all kinds of gases. So if we take air, if me and my friend are sitting in this room and talking to each other, it is because air as a matter is existing in between them. If we suck out all the air that is present in this particular room, then whatever I speak to him will not be heard by him. It is because whatever I speak is not getting transferred through fields. It is not electromagnetic fields. It is because of simple air that is staying between my mouth and my friend's ear. What really is happening? Whenever I talk, my vocal cords make some disturbance, and these disturbances is caught up by the air that is present in my mouth, the vocal cavity, and then this air is putting the same pressure onto the air which is present outside. So it creates a low pressure area, a high pressure area, low pressure area, high pressure area, low pressure area, high pressure area. In this way, the the intelligence, whatever I spoke, will be transferred from my mouth to my friend's ear, and these air waves, go and hit the diaphragm, whichever is present in his ear, my friend's ear, and these are converted to electrical signals, and then they're transferred to his brain. This is how I speak and the other person here. So here we can see that matter is getting displaced from its mean position, but it gets displaced, or it gets vibrating from its mean position, but doesn't move from its place. What I mean is the air molecules which are present here, they do not individually go to my friend's ear for transferring the disturbance or the energy to his diaphragm. They just vibrate across the mean pressure, low pressure area, high pressure area. In this way, the energy, again, the same way the energy got transferred here, the same way energy also gets transferred here from my mouth to his ear without the individual displacement, or just because of the vibration of those air molecules. Coming to earth, the solids. For example, if there is an earthquake that has happened near Sri Lanka and the epicenter is pointed there, it is not the same earthquake is felt even in some parts of India, the shores of India. Why is it possible? Is it that the earth is moving individually from Sri Lanka to India? Certainly not. You would appreciate this example more than the other two. Yes or not? Sri Lankan plate, yeah, that's not an tectonic plate. Sri Lanka and earth will not move to near India, and that doesn't transfer the energy. It is just that the waves or the disturbances are getting transferred in the soil, and the same impact is also seen in India. So these are called as seismic waves. Now we understood seismic waves, we understood water waves, and we understood sound. All of these are disturbances. These disturbances happened in, sorry for my illegible writing, these disturbances happened in matter. That's why all these disturbances are matter disturbances or matter waves. So coming to the other things, they are fields. So water fields, field waves, we also already understood water fields. So water field waves, any disturbance that are caused in fields. For example, if you cause disturbance in electric field, you get electric waves. If you cause disturbance in magnetic fields, you get magnetic waves. And if you cause disturbance in gravitational fields, you get gravitational waves. And if you cause disturbances in quantum fields, you get quantum waves. For today, let us not get into the discussion of gravitational fields and gravitational waves, and quantum fields and quantum waves. If you want to have a better understanding of this, you can refer Seven Brief Lessons on Physics by Cornor. It's a very beautiful book. you can really appreciate reading it. Okay, coming back, the same way we caused disturbance in matter, and using these disturbances we could transfer energy from one place to another. We could also disturb fields and transfer energy from one place to another. That's the ultimate goal that we have to understand. So why ultimately we are understanding all this? Because we have want to transfer energy from one place to another without the movement of the individual matter or fields, just because of the vibrations. Okay, if it is air, I can talk and disturb the fields. If it is water, I can throw a pebble and disturb the fields. Or if it is earth, there is earthquake and the fields get disturbed. Sorry, the earth get disturbed, and how that is how the energy get transferred. But how really we can disturb the fields? Can I point a finger and disturb the fields? No, that's not possible. That's why there is a device which is called as antenna. So antenna is a device which transfers electric signals to electromagnetic signals and vice versa. So if you if you input electric signal to it, it converts the electric signals to electromagnetic waves. Or if there are electromagnetic waves that are hitting the antenna, it converts feeble electromagnetic signals. So antenna is a device which converts electric signals which are input to the antenna into electromagnetic signals as an output. Or if an electromagnetic signals come and strike the antenna, it converts them into electric signals. That is what an antenna is. So using antenna, I can cause disturbances into the fields in electric and magnetic fields. So the question here is, whenever you see a sun, the sun, yes, UN, it pours out all the radio spectrum. It has our visible range, VGR, infrared, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays, microwave, everything. All these waves are coming from the sun to our earth. And in this particular range, only a small part of it, the visible range, VGR, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. These, the mixture of all these colors is what we appreciate the world using our eyes. We cannot see ultraviolet rays, we cannot see infrared, we cannot see microwaves, and we cannot see X-rays. We can only see visible range in the complete radio spectrum. The question is, how is this happening? So what really is sun doing? The rays of sun is nothing but the disturbances in electromagnetic field. So that proves that electromagnetic fields are in the complete universe, at least for this discussion, from in between our sun and the earth. If I take this as earth and if I take this as sun, there is electromagnetic field in between them, because of which the sun is disturbing this electromagnetic field, and that's why the electromagnetic energy or the sun's energy is coming and hitting our earth. I think I clarified you. The question is, if it is so, is eye an antenna? Because eye is able to capture a small part of radio spectrum which is emitted by the sun, right? Is eye an antenna? Yes? No. The answer is no. Not because it is able to absorb the electromagnetic radiations, but it is not, because it is not able to do the vice versa thing. That is, whenever we discussed about antenna, two things were discussed. That is, it can transmit or it can convert electric signals which are fed to it into electromagnetic waves, or vice versa. Whenever an electromagnetic wave is hit on the antenna, it converts to electric signal. I can do only the second one. If an electromagnetic wave in the range of 500 to 720 terahertz. I'm not giving the actual figure, but it is in this terahertz range. If it is in this terahertz range, if you're able to transmit something, or if you're able to disturb the electromagnetic field in this range, my eye is able to capture it. But my eye cannot emit out electromagnetic radiation. That's why it is not an antenna. So I think you got a clarity now what an antenna is. If you want to disturb matter, yeah, there are obvious things. But if you really want to disturb fields, you need a special thing called as an antenna, which converts electrical signals to electromagnetic signals and electromagnetic signals to electric signals. So the first question that I asked when we started with the discussion, is it because the air is staying between the two antennas, the transmitting antenna and receiving antenna? I think everybody who is looking into this video will give an obvious no. It is not because the matter is staying, the air as a matter is staying between these two antennas for the communication to happen. It is because the universe contains electric and magnetic fields, and these antennas just disturb these fields in the form of disturbances, and these disturbances are waves, and because of the disturbance the energy is getting transferred from one point to another. I think it was a healthy discussion. I will be meeting you in the next discussion to go with a much more details of wireless communication. I thank you all.